Parkrun have made a massive, if you believe the papers, change to the way they present performance data on their website, which is that they no longer present performance data on their website. And a lot of people have asked me what I think about that and the issues surrounding it, which include all sorts from trans athletes to demoralised slow runners. So having been one, a demoralised slow runner, a quick video on my thoughts. Just in case you are completely out of the loop, Parkrun, Saturday morning 5k runs or walks organised all around the world. I'm super lucky, got 3 within 10 minutes of me, and it is superb. Turn up, zero cost, get round in as long as it takes you, get a time, go home, happy. I first did Parkrun when I was grossly overweight and it took me way beyond 40 minutes. In fact, I used to duck off the course before the finish because I hated my performance so much. What an idiot to worry about such things. But I stuck with it until I was fit and healthy, and I'm not kidding when I say it transformed my life. None of this would exist without Parkrun, so I love it. If governments had any interest in the health of the people they represent, they don't, it would get massive funding and promotion so that everybody has an event they can get to easily. Physical health, mental health, social cohesion, ticks all the boxes for me. Now, until recently on their website, you could see data such as the fastest time recorded at any particular event, a list of the men that had run under 17 minutes and women that had run under 20 minutes at that event, and maybe some age group stuff. To be honest, I can't remember exactly what the performance data was, and that's probably a good indication of why it doesn't really matter to me that it's gone. Why has it gone? Well, the conspiracy theory, which is probably right, is that towards the end of last year, people started noticing, and by people I really mean a think tank made up of exactly the sort of people you'd expect to be noticing this, that some of the female course records were now held by trans women. And they are right, because that is an issue. You can just register to do a parkrun by putting your details in online, pick your gender, go along and run. If you tick the box female and you then run a monster time, you are now the fastest female at that course, whether you are actually a female or a male or a trans female or a trans male or anything else. If you tick the box, you tick the box. And now you have a think tank looking at you. A think tank with a website displaying so many Union Jacks it looks like one of those little shops that pop up for tourists in the middle of London. So Parkrun considered the various ways of tackling the grief they were getting over that and decided that the solution was to have no records for people to argue over. That's the conspiracy theory, that Parkrun acted like a parent who sees 2 children fighting over the same toy and said, right, that's it, neither of you are having it, and then throws the toy in the bin, possibly leaving both of those children equally distraught. More likely, in my experience as a parent, one of those kids distraught and the other one just chuckling to themselves that they've ruined the day of their sibling. Maybe I'm just a parent to nasty kids. Now, Parkrun have said, we are not lazy parenting personified. Exactly what they said. We have made this change in order to make the website more inclusive and focus on participation, and therefore the event more inviting to people who might otherwise be put off by prominently displayed performance data, blah, blah, blah. And rather than just display that data less prominently, they ripped the toy away from the screaming children and threw it in the bin. And so, as somebody who has done a lot of parkruns, done videos on parkruns, even done videos on some parkrunners with parkrun records, I've been asked what I think. And I really can't get too excited about it. Maybe I'm missing something, and please stick it in the comments if I am, because I might well be. And I should add, this is what I think as somebody who has attended a parkrun, overweight and slow and feeling very out of place, and also attended parkruns as somebody running around in 19 minutes and placing routinely in the top 10. So I've been towards both ends. Do I think Parkrun did it because of the female records trans athlete issue? Yeah, I think they probably did. And I think that is a lazy, easy way out, which is what they've been accused of by some. But I'm not sure what the complicated, proper way out would have been. I've seen many people saying that there should be a third category, men, women, other, and you then force trans athletes to run as other. But who forces them? Parkrun's run by volunteers. Are we really asking people who have just walked around the park in the pouring rain, sticking the little 1K, 2K signs in the grass, to now carry out some sort of gender assessment? Are we going to set them up a little tent behind the swings? And on who? Because no one knows who's registered as what. If I set up an account tomorrow as a female and go run, no one knows. I just scan my registration barcode at the finish line and go home. 2 hours later, somebody logs Cindy Lewis as a fast female when they put the results together. The only person who might spot that is the person that finished behind me and then sees their results, if they look it up on the website, and sees the one ahead of them and thinks, wow, that 6'6" lump that passed me with a beast of a sprint finish and a great moustache didn't look like a Cindy. And not only is the actual solution hard to come up with, I'm just not sure Parkrun is the place to have that battle. Isn't it just people turning up to run around a field on a Saturday morning before going for a coffee and a bit of cake? I mean, trans athletes is something that needs to be looked at and resolved in a way that is appropriate. But at a park where the start line takes you through a big puddle, I mean, really, I know there are some high-profile people, sports people, that have a real problem with what Parkrun have done, and I understand their point of view completely, especially in relation to properly competitive racing. I get it. They have a genuine concern about female participants in sport losing out. In fact, in a way, it's unfortunate for them that a lot of their support comes from people whose core concern doesn't quite seem to be exactly the same. You only have to read through the comment sections to the news reports on this story to see that there is, as there always is, a huge amount of typically men shouting, "Won't someone please think of the women losing all their records?" I mean, I suppose the only good thing to come from all this is that once the trans issue is resolved, there are apparently a staggering amount of men passionate to solve female inequality and now looking for a new way to do it. Or maybe not. I also understand the frustration for women who have been arguing in defence of women's participation and success and results in sport for a long time while watching female records get taken by trans athletes, and no one other than them says much. And now everyone loses their records, and that now includes men, and suddenly it's all over the news. I see how that must do your head in. My point here is just really what's the result for Parkrun now? So do I think Parkrun made the changes because of the trans issue? Yes, but I also do believe that they do believe having the race results on the website puts people off. It wouldn't have surprised me if they'd have done this without the trans issue in the background at all. I think they're wrong on that as well. But again, the result of that mistake, no records, I just don't really mind. I mean, I think if you are somebody attending a parkrun for the first time, out of shape, unable to run the whole course, possibly planning to walk the course, park walk is a thing now, I think you have some big hurdles to overcome, physically and mentally, just getting yourself to the start line. I know I did at my first one, but I do not think knowing that somebody wants around the course in 15 minutes makes a blind bit of difference. And if it does, I think you need to pull yourself together. Slow park runners, park walkers, fat, thin, whatever, everybody should be welcomed, encouraged to do a park run. But if that is you, you have other things to focus on than the course record. And parkrun, hiding it from those people, feels almost patronising. I'm trying to learn the guitar at the moment. If I discovered that my wife set up some sort of filter on YouTube so I would never get videos of Mark Knopfler pop up and demoralise me, I'd be embarrassed that she thought I was that sensitive to seeing someone good. But equally, I've got no idea what the course record even is at my course, at any course I've ever run. I've never looked it up because I don't care. And I can still log in and see exactly how fast the fastest guy or woman went last week. In fact, I can pull up records for any parkrun at any event and see what the fast times were. I just can't see what the fastest time is. And I can assure you, if you are running 40, 50-minute or longer 5Ks, whether someone did a 15:30 last week or the fastest ever was a 15:10 makes no difference. Those times are alien speed to you, completely beyond what you can comprehend. I can't really comprehend them, and I'm only a few minutes behind them. Oh, and I can still see the average time for my course, and I believe that is a genuinely useful target for a lot of people. So yeah, that's good. The rest, it just doesn't bother me. Really, the only people I can think are genuinely hard done by this are obviously the tiny number of people, relatively, that hold parkrun records. They no longer get to see their name on the website in that way, at least. But let's be honest, if you have a parkrun course record, you're also probably doing slightly more official events most weekends and picking up legitimate records and legitimate race placings. How you did running around a park, dodging dog mess and people pushing their kids in prams, on a course that's never exactly 5K anyway, is that super important to you? And that's a genuine question because it might be, I just can't imagine it is. So there you go. Was Parkrun's decision motivated for reasons other than the one they say? Yeah, probably. As a result of what they've done, have they made the event more inclusive? And it should be inclusive? No, I think it's made absolutely no difference in that respect whatsoever. But in the grand scheme of things, does it really matter? No, what matters is that hundreds of people will still be at my local parkruns every Saturday, still doing something that is good for them. And the fact that there are 2 kids somewhere missing a toy that one of them probably knew wasn't really theirs anyway, I don't know. As bad parenting goes, it's not like smacking the kids around the head with a tube of Pringles in the middle of Asda. And it's just Pringles, so everyone calm down. It's not like I used frozen pizza. And again, to be super clear, I understand the extreme frustration for many that this whole topic only flares up when the people affected are no longer just the women affected. I get that. And I'm a man, so maybe you think I don't get that. And maybe you're right. But I have been a fat, slow park runner, and I definitely get that. All I can do is talk about what I get and invite you to jump in the comments and enlighten me about what you think I don't. Okay, I'm out of here. If you've never heard of parkrun, go do one. If you do them already, keep doing it. If you hold a course record and parkrun have binned your toy and you can no longer tell the world how good you are, I don't know, go puncture the tyres on your brother's bike. My kids are a nightmare.